Hello everyone, in today's video we will be looking at the Armourer's Forge from The Mandalorian from the Vintage Collection. Okay, so straight out of the box, the little instruction thing fell out there, this stuff fell out, then you've got, it seems like at least two bits here. So yeah, you've got a big bit of cardboard with just that bit in there. And then it seems like the rest is in here, so that's sort of loose. A little bag of helmets there, another bag of something there, another one there. And then, yeah, there's more in here. Oh yeah, there's some bits in there, some bits in there, and then it's looking like that bit there is just for the new-ish, I think, by the looks of it. I mean, it's relatively new. I think it's got some new bits on it. We'll take a closer look at the figure in a bit. So yeah, we'll get all this out individually and look at the pieces more in depth. Okay, so straight out of the box and out of the cardboard and everything, we have this piece here. We have this piece here. This piece. And this piece. There is this piece as well, which looks sort of like on initial first looks, it kind of looks like a chest or a cabinet or something. And then in the smaller bags, you have this, which looks like it's going to fit on the wall, just like the mythosaur kind of skull thing. We have this. And we have this piece here. Some tools. Some more pieces there. And then we have the helmets. Now these are pretty cool because I wasn't sure if these were just going to be little sort of hollowed out, you know, like little helmets that scatter around on the floor, but they've actually got like a little ball joint thing so you can use them on one of the many existing Mando figures. The armor might be a bit mixed up if you did do that, but I think a lot of these have got sort of random kind of armor sets thrown together, different colors and stuff, so that one's pretty cool. And then you've got this green one, which is really nice with the line across it there. I like that color. That is a nice one. And then you have this little guy here. I want to say his arms move, they do. And this one's a bit different. I mean, it's probably a very similar sculpt, but the chest there, obviously, he's got his armor on there. No peg holes on the feet. Yeah, he's looking cool. Okay, so before we get on to the set itself and the figure, here's the little sort of cabinet here. You've got this bit that pulls down here, which kind of feels like it gets stuck by there and then pops out, so that's not great. You know, it could be a bit smoother opening because obviously you go in to open it up, but these doors open quite nicely there. So yeah, you got some stickers on the back. They're quite shiny. You've got like little, looks like little pegs there to hold tools on, I guess. We'll have a closer look at that in a minute. And sort of some kind of all the same color stuff going on here, which is quite bland. You know, it is what it is. It's nice, but it's just because this is a set and they are quite pricey. You know, it would be nice to have a little bit more detail. We've got some stickers there which are very shiny, and then there's not a lot of detail going on there. So, but yeah, so there's that. Okay, then we have this piece here, which I think is some sort of like anvil type thing, but the instructions are telling me to put that bit on. So yeah, that kind of looks a bit like an anvil. Or it's also saying I can put this piece on. So yeah, either or. There's that. And I'm not sure if I showed this piece. But here's just another piece there, and there is a bit of paint there as well, which is funny because my initial looking at this is they are very, there's not much detail going on. It's kind of this this sort of sandstone color with not much weathering or detail going on there. So I don't know, that could be up for debate whether they could add more onto that, or you could say, well, they're in sort of like a cave at the time, so it doesn't really need anymore. But either way, the fact that there's like black paint spilled down is a bit annoying. This keeps sort of happening, I feel like. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's annoying, you know. And again, I think if there was more detailing on here, that probably wouldn't stand out as much as it does. But hey ho, we'll get this put together and talk a bit more about it. So just very briefly before we do that, these are the instructions there. Come down there, very simple. And that's that there. Okay, so I'll very quickly just put this together. I don't want to spend too much time showing how each bit clicks together. I want to get to the end and sort of discuss it more there. Okay, so here's the set all set up, and yeah, it was pretty straightforward to put together. You know, it's sort of the three main pieces click together. Then you've got the little silvery Mandalorian like mythosaur skull thing on the wall at the back there. Then you've got the top bit and the bottom bit, which is, I guess, the forge itself. And then yeah, I've just chucked these little tools on here, and then somewhere in the background then you can set this up as well. So yeah, I'll sort of probably set it up in a few different ways now, just so you can maybe get a better look, and I'll talk a bit more about it. Okay, so here we have the figure, the Armourer Lakeside Covert World, and it's looking pretty similar so far to the one we've had before. Obviously a different image on there, the unpunched card there. It's the information on the back there, VC331. So yeah, we'll open this up and take a closer look. Okay, so straight off the card, we have the figure here, and it's looking pretty good. You've got obviously the soft goods little sort of cape shoulder thing. Decent articulation, although that feels like it doesn't really want to go any higher than that. I don't know if it's maybe the strap under there stopping it, but that feels very stiff. Well, kind of loose, but then it doesn't want to go any higher than that. So yeah, decent sort of paintwork around there. It's all looking pretty good. So yeah, I don't know how much different this is going to be. So here we have the original one on the right here from a few years back. And obviously the main difference is the back there. So this is like a sort of browny beige kind of grey plastic. The colours look a little bit different. I don't know which one's better. This one looks almost cleaner than this one. This one's almost got like kind of weathering effects, whereas this one doesn't really have it. So I don't know if this one is more sort of basic than the old one. Don't know, but the chest colours there, everything else, that's looking a little bit different. A little bit more detail again on the older one by the looks of it. There's sort of two colours going on there, like a sort of a black, I guess, and a brown, whereas this one is just looking like, I don't know what colour that would be, sort of, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can really kind of see it on the back there. So yeah, that's, I don't know. I think I prefer the old one. I quite like this. I don't know if this one can come off the old one here. Maybe it can, and you could swap them over, but I think I kind of prefer the paintwork on the older one than this new one. But it's okay. It's not bad by any means. It just looks like there's a bit more detail on the older one from what I can see. And then the accessories, you have this one here, so these sort of like tong things holding sort of the bit of metal there with like the insignia or whatever of Grogu and the Mandalorian's little sort of clan, I guess. Yeah, it's nice. It's a decent colour, I think. Decent paintwork there. And then the hammer, which I believe is probably the same. Okay, it's a different colour. It's more of a darker silver, I think. And here we have the jetpack here. Again, sort of quite basic, but it's good. It's good paintwork. I don't think you need too much weathering on there. It looks pretty good. And so, yeah, that then, obviously you've got a hole in the cape for that to go through there. If you can line it up, which I'm not sure if that is. I mean, yeah, it looks lined up, so it should go in. Maybe it's just catching on the fabric a bit. Yeah, that's in there enough, I think. And then you sort of maybe ruffle this up a little bit as well. Yeah, that's looking a bit better there. So yeah, that's looking pretty cool. I am a fan of sort of like soft goods over plastic, so I think that looks better. Okay, so some final thoughts on this set. I think it's okay. I wouldn't say it's anything mind-blowing. I'm not even sure if it's worth the price tag. I'm sorry if I sound a bit down about all this, but with the price of figures and everything just going up and up and up, and I feel like the quality has dipped a little bit. I'm not saying by any means that the other sets have been amazingly detailed and stuff. We've had like the Tantive 4 hallway, the Navarro playset with the bar, Boba / Jabba's throne room. All of them were fairly adequate, I feel like. I feel like with these sets, they are a bit more pricey, especially the throne room was, but I do feel out of all of them, that was probably the best in terms of weathering and paintwork. I mean, with all these sets, they could always be better. I feel like looking at it, there could always be another wash over them or more detail, just adding a bit of weathering, bringing it to life a bit more. But it is what it is. But I do feel like when I open this is very bland. This is very sort of, you know, the set itself, there's only maybe like 3 or 4 colors. You know, you've got there's no weathering on the walls. I mean, I know they're in a cave, which is sort of like surrounded by sand and stuff like that. You know, they seem to be in like a little desert kind of oasis type place, but yeah, I just feel like a bit of weathering to bring the detail out of like the rock formation on the wall. The actual forge metal itself is okay, the color is fine, and you do have this little bit where if you put a light underneath it, it can light it up to bring it to life a bit more. But again, you could have done with maybe a bit more detailing on there. Even like the little Mandalorian mythosaur skull on the wall looks too clean, too shiny, way too silver. It could, I don't know whether the colour's wrong or, you know, I'm not an expert, but just a bit of weathering would be nice on these sets. So I don't want to say I'm disappointed, because in the promo images I even thought looks a bit bland, but I kind of wanted it. I do enjoy the Mandalorian, and I do enjoy these sets, and this one isn't too big, so it's not going to take up too much room. Again, that could go against it, given the price tag. You do get these accessories, which again, you get the little sort of tool station, which is a bit bland. You've got the figure, which is adequate. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but yeah, just comparing it to the old one from years ago, it feels like the colour and the sort of shading and stuff is a little bit worse. You know, it's not bad, like I said, but I prefer the look of the old one, I think, up close. The accessories are nice. They're pretty good. I do quite like the helmets and stuff. We've got another little Grogu again, which, you know, there is quite a few of them now, but it's an accessory. I'll never complain about having extra bits and bobs, and he is a little bit different, this one. He's got his sort of chainmail type thing going on, and yeah, you've got the anvil and the helmets. The helmets, I think, are probably the best accessory, because like, I know as a kid I would have absolutely loved that, being able to swap the helmets, and you've essentially got like 3 different characters there to mess around with. And like I said, if I was a kid playing with this, that would be quite fun. It opens up other possibilities, so that's a nice little accessory. And the tool station thing does act as a nice sort of little thing to keep accessories in, little bits and bobs, which is nice. So whether it's the accessories for this play set or whether you have other little things lying around, that's always quite handy to have. So overall, it's not my favourite play set, but it's adequate. It'll look decent on the shelf, I think. Stick a couple of characters in there to bring it to life. Maybe a little light underneath to sort of bring it to life a bit, and I think it'll look better. But overall, just straight out of the box, it is a little bit bland. But like I said, it's not like we were lied to in the promo images. It always did look a little bit bland. I suppose you could spruce it up yourself if you could with a paintbrush. Apart from that, I don't think there's too much else to say, so I'll probably leave it there. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe and all that. Let me know your thoughts on this, if you've got it, whether you want to get it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.